Talk about health care a little more here, because the president's support for health care reportedly hinges on ties to Obamacare rollbacks, according to the Wall Street Journal this morning. Republican Senator Lamar Alexander, Democratic Senator Patty Murray released their bipartisan bill yesterday with the backing of 22 additional senators, but the president said he wasn't fully on board. You know, President Trump reportedly seeking changes to the legislation which extends federal payments known as cost-sharing reductions, his support also hinging on relief from the Affordable Care Act's requirement that most people must have health coverage or pay a penalty for that. So what do you think about that? Is that bipartisan bill the key to health care reform? And how come the president soured on it?
I think the president is very encouraged by Senator Alexander and Senator Murray coming together in bipartisan fashion. We haven't seen that so far in the health care debate. So he's very encouraged by the process. But the reality is, you talk about exactly the root of this is cost-sharing reductions. Has your cost gone down? No. Has any American's health insurance costs gone down?
They've all gone up, Marc.
They've all gone up. They've all gone up between 100 and 200%. So the cost-sharing reduction is an absolute oxymoron. People have not had their costs go down. Instead, what's happened is we have mandated everybody buy insurance, and who's benefited is health insurance companies. Cigna's insurance is stock price up 480% since Obamacare passed. Aetna up over 470%. We don't have a problem with companies making profits, Maria, but they're doing it with American taxpayer dollars that are subsidizing the plans. Right. So we're taking taxpayer dollars, giving it to insurance companies who record huge profits. That's not a free market. That's not fair.
And the money wasn't even constitutional, right?
That's exactly right. And so the courts have ruled that the payments were illegal. So the president's encouraged by the process, but we need to have more reforms here. We need to actually do something that's going to reduce costs for the president to support it.
How do you do that?
I think there are several ways you do it. One way is you eliminate the individual mandate and the employer mandate, but you also allow additional contributions to health savings accounts, and that will allow people to expend their dollars more freely and begin to lower premiums.
So the president is expected to attend this GOP senators' weekly policy lunch next week. This will give the president the opportunity to meet with some of the Republican critics, including Senator Bob Corker, Senator John McCain. I'd like to be in that room. What does the president need to do to get that full support of the GOP behind his legislative agenda?
I think the president's excited by the invitation. He looks forward to being with the members on Tuesday, and I think the president will be talking about what we can do between now and the end of the year. We have an historic opportunity to get this economy going and provide tax relief. We also have a historic opportunity on the budget, and the president, I think, is very keen on many of the nominations that are tied up in the Senate to making sure his administration is fully staffed. I think that's what he'll be sharing with senators on Tuesday.
He's been traveling with some Democratic senators, obviously taking Senator Donnelly with him recently when he went to Indiana, North Dakota, and Heidi Heitkamp. Is he counting on those votes in this tax bill?
Well, Maria, I think you saw in the vote last night, in many ways, the budget was partly a proxy for the tax reform vote. So we believe that we will hopefully have the votes on the Republican side. But we also believe that the plan will be better if it's bipartisan. We believe it'll be more encouraging for the American people. So we want to earn their support. We hope they're with us. We certainly believe that the corporate tax rate is something that is holding back the American economy. We can help create more jobs, particularly in many of those Midwest states.
Do you find pushback on the corporate rate coming down from 35 to 25? Or 20%, rather?
Absolutely.
Did you even push back there?
Many Democrats feel like they don't want that, but we think that it's what's essentially get the economy going. Yes.
Even though we're the highest industrial in the world.
Industrial nations and other countries are continuing to lower further. It's not as if it's static. What you're seeing is that countries are continuing they've realized, you look at what's happened in Ireland and many of the countries that have lowered their corporate tax rate is companies are going there. We need to bring those companies back into our country. And if we have a corporate tax rate that's competitive, we know the American worker can compete.
All right, final question here. Are you expecting that tax reform happens by year end? Will it be retroactive to 17, or are we talking about a 2018 affair?
We believe that we will get it done before the end of this year. We do want it retroactive to 2017.
You want it retroactive for 17?
That would be ideal, yes.
All right, we will leave it there. Marc Short, good to see you, sir.
Thanks, Maria.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Marc Short there, coming